Good afternoon from State Adventures. I have put together a group trip for you to Patagonia, and let's go through it together so that you can share all the details with the group members and jot down any questions so we can make any tweaks. This is your trip, and of course, we can make some changes. While I'm sharing the itinerary, I'm going to have some suggestions for you as well. I have been to this area over and over again for the last 20 years, so I know these hotels and I know these parks. And so we can discuss what works and what doesn't for your group. So I have planned this trip for 2026, starting February 1st, and this is priced on 20 people sharing 10 rooms. So if we have a different number of people, if we need single supplements because some people want to have their own rooms, just let me know and we will tweak the trip accordingly. So February 1st, you're going to take an overnight flight and we're going to start in Chile. So I know this focus of the trip is Patagonia. This region is split between Chile and Argentina, and we will visit both. Once you arrive in Santiago on February 2nd, we will pick you up. Big State Adventure sign. We're going to take you to the hotel. This is our day to kind of relax, acclimate to this new country, relax after our travels. We are going to stay at the DoubleTree by Hilton. It's a great little property, really well located, has all the amenities, great pricing for your group. And in the afternoon, we're going to do a little welcome to Santiago tasting tour. This will be private and customized for your group. So if there's any food restrictions, if there's any allergies, if there's any specific foods that you would like to include, we will tweak the trip around it. But that way we're stretching our legs, we're walking around, we're peeking into doorways, and we're doing tastings along the way. And of course, Chile has amazing wine, so we will include that. So if you prefer a traditional tour of Santiago, we can certainly do that and visit the main buildings, the main square, things like that, and have a proper tour as opposed to a tasting food tour. The tasting tour includes a car as well, so it's not like you're going to be doing just walking. So do keep that in mind. We can tweak it. If you have extra time, I would suggest adding one more day in Santiago so that we can go to Valparaiso, which is on the coast, which is a very colorful historic town. And that passes through Colchagua Wine Valley. And there's some beautiful restaurants and wine tastings there. So if you have an extra day, consider it, adding it here. But on this particular itinerary, after our one night in Santiago, we're going to fly to Patagonia. So we're going to go from Santiago to the airport to fly to Puerto Natales, and our Patagonia team will pick you up there, and we will spend a few nights in Puerto Natales so that we can explore this region. We will, of course, begin with a welcome hike and a mate tasting. So mate is a traditional tea of Patagonia, of Chile, of Argentina, and it is a very symbolic way to welcome you to this region, and a soft hike. So we can have some beautiful views, condors flying, beautiful lakes, and kind of get you acquainted to this part of the country. And in Patagonia, we have so many different options because you have a larger group, because we want to keep the budget low. I stayed in Puerto Natales with the group here. So we chose the Noi Indigo Hotel. It's a great modern property. Again, has all the amenities, has great rooms, has a great service, food in the restaurant, and also access to the little town of Puerto Natales. So you can walk out, you can have different dinners each night. So you're not trapped in a national park where you're eating everything in the lunch. And of course, I will touch on that as well because that is an option. So it is a great option. Puerto Natales is close to Torres del Paine, it's close to glaciers, it's close to mountains. So we can do a lot of excursions from here, but come back to a village each night. I think that works really well for groups because everyone has their own preferences. But if you prefer something more remote, if you want to be directly in the middle of nowhere in Torres del Paine, then we would switch to one of the lodges that is in the park. When we do that, it means all of the meals, all of the excursions are done with the lodge, and it also means the price will increase by probably a couple $1,000s per person because the national park lodges are more expensive than staying in town. But I try to make the best out of this itinerary for you, regardless where you're staying. So let me run you through. So the first day you arrive, you have your hike, you have your mate tasting, you're staying in this glorious hotel as indoor, outdoor pool, some great amenities and access to town. The next day, we're going to go to Torres del Paine National Park, have a full day private tour. We're going to go to the Glacier Gray, where we're going to ride a boat to the glacier, which is a fantastic experience. So you will already get a really good sense of this Patagonia region. We have lunch in the park and we come back 7 or 8 p.m. So it's a really full day excursion. And then the next day, we're going to set out again with our private guide to go to some of the beautiful parts of Torres del Paine where you can be outdoors, where we're going to be hiking, where there's lakes and mountains and a picnic lunch outside. So you really will get a good sense of the point of coming to Torres del Paine and the point of what Patagonia looks like on the Chilean side. So after 3 nights on the Chilean side, on February 6th, we're going to get in a private car and cross the border into Argentina, arriving in Calafate. And that is about a 5-hour drive crossing the border. We show our passports and we're in Argentina. When we arrive mid-afternoon, we're going to check into our hotel and then we're going to set out on a Welcome to Argentina tour. And these are done by these awesome 4x4 vehicles. We got to go to balcony of Calafate, which is amazing views. And this is all in the cliffs. And in the cliffs, there are caves. And in the cave, we set up a dinner for your group. And it is such a fun experience. I'm very excited to share that with you. And we will also go to the Glacier Museum where we will have drinks in the ice bar. So everything is made of ice. That's a true welcome to Patagonia on the Argentina side. And the hotel is a charming boutique hotel. It's the Esplendor property. It's now a Wyndham property, really well located in the village of Calafate, really nice views. Like you wake up and you know you're in Patagonia because of all the wood and fabrics that they use from local vendors there. And we're going to spend 2 nights in Calafate. The first night is our day when we arrive and we do our cave dinner and our 4x4. And the second day is dedicated to Perito Moreno Glacier. When we have went to the Gray Glacier, it's a boat ride and pretty much that's it because the glacier is far out. Perito Moreno Glacier is quite famous because it's the only glacier that is growing instead of shrinking, and there are catwalks all around it, and there's a wonderful access to the glacier and the ice itself. And of course, there's a boat ride to the face of the glacier, and you can hear the ice cracking. It sounds like thunder, and it's a really wonderful experience. If your group is adventurous, we can do mini trekking where we actually put on crampons and with our guide go on the ice. So let me know what sounds like the adventure for you because we can stay in the park and on the catwalks or we can actually get on the ice. And we have lunch in the park. And then we leave to Buenos Aires. Now, if you have an extra day, I suggest we add it to Calafate and we spend a day at an estancia. Estancia is like a local ranch. There we can ride horses. We can go zip lining. We can go trekking. We can have a traditional Argentinian lunch out in the farm. So it's a really great experience, a little different than everything else you have done. And if you have that extra day, I highly suggest we do that. But on this itinerary, day 8, we fly to Buenos Aires. And in Buenos Aires, I just wanted you to get a taste of the tango culture. So when you arrive, we're going to do a little bit afternoon touring. We split the city in 2. So in the afternoon, we're going to do our south side of the city with the tango culture, the beautiful, colorful La Boca and Puerto Madero region. We'll have dinner tonight and a tango show. I included an Indian restaurant here called Tandoor. It's a really nice place in Buenos Aires. But if you want a traditional Argentinian restaurant, of course, we can do that. Or we can have dinner inside the Tango Hall during the show. So that's also an option. And then we stay 1 night in Madero, a great property right on the river. And the next day, your flight home will be in the evening. So instead of sitting around the airport, we're going to explore the north part of the city. So the Pink House, the Evita Cemetery, visiting Evita in the cemetery and all kinds of different parts. And of course, have lunch and then take you to the airport for your flight home. So this is the trip for your group for a party of 20 in 10 rooms. I have a single supplement there for you as well. Please review it. Let me know your thoughts about adding those extra 2 nights, maybe in Santiago, maybe in Patagonia, and making really maximum value for the trip. If you need any other assistance, I am here to help. Thanks for listening and happy travels.